Yo, yo!
We're back. It's Darianne.
And Emilee.
And today we're talking about parties. Big old fat parties.
Big old fat parties. And when we say parties, it's like, is that 5 or more technically?
Yeah, I want to say 5 or more. Like, you can't fit in a regular booth or a regular table. Like, you have to push something together or put a head on something.
And you also have to tell your kitchen whenever you're ringing
at
in a
our
party.
restaurant.
Yeah.
At our restaurant.
At other normal restaurants, probably not.
Yeah. No. The restaurant I used to work at was just like, we just told them, like, hey, we're a reservation. But it's only if they had, like, a reservation of, like, 20. Like, oh, by the way, I'm going to punch in the 20.
Yeah. That's just a courtesy.
It's just something like, hey, you're just going to get, like, 1,000 bills in, like, 2 seconds.
Nice. And, like, the thing with ours is we have to split up our bills.
Yeah, that's a fucking nightmare. I hate doing that. So you have to, like, push a button that says party begin, party continue, party continue, party end. And they have to hold it. And I used to be so bad at this. Like, I wouldn't hold it, and then I would just send it all, and I would get yelled at. And then I've had to, like, they made me, like, 3 times now, delete everything that I punched in and re-punch it in. And I'm like, okay, you guys all realize, like, I have a party of 20. Like, I don't have fucking time to re-punch this shit in.
It's just a complete fucking waste of time. It's like,
just
okay,
cut it in half. Rip it in half. Like, when we have our back of house guys come on, I'm sure they'll explain to us how it is on their end when why we can't cut in half because of their dainty little burnt fingers. In the nicest way possible. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm just a little salty.
Just about.
Doogie Hauser.
Okay. This is from Ms. Doogie. She set up the tables 71 to 75, so that's about 5 tables, for a party of 30 on a Friday night. It was ready well before the reso time, and then they held it for about half an hour after no one would answer their phone. But they had a giant wait list at the time, and then she got seated 5 times at once after they pulled the tables apart. Everyone finished at the same time, and then she got sat 5 times again.
That's a host and manager fail.
Yes, you just had 5 tables open. You have to tell them that's one server section. They can't all be there at once. Like, that's not a thing. So you wait 5 minutes after each table and then give her some time.
They shouldn't have held the table for half an hour. That happened to me.
Yeah, with the 24, right?
Yeah, we held the table for 45 minutes. And I was like, because we were getting fucking slammed. And I, like, literally went up to our big boss man. I was like, we need to call the reso. Like, we have people waiting. They're not coming, dude. They're not coming. And he tried calling them. He's like, they didn't answer. And he just pulled it apart. And then I got fucking 4 tables. It was great. It was a good night. I didn't even make that much money. Because, like, we got the one rush.
Hour, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was done.
If you would have had those tables all pulled apart,
I would have made so much money.
She would have had turnovers. She would have
that pissed me off a lot. But I was like, he's like, I confirmed with them yesterday. They said they were coming.
It's been 45 minutes, though.
They're not coming.
For us, that's just watching money dissipate. How did that party go last night?
They didn't show up, of course. Okay, I wrote this down because I'm blaming Padgett. She cursed us. Because she would, as soon as she started serving again, she would come to work and she's like, okay, I have a party. They wouldn't show up. She had this happen like maybe 4 or 5 times in a row. Since then, I've had like maybe 9 fucking parties not show up. So yesterday, we closed at 8.
We're doing renovations.
I started at 6. I got my 2 hours. So I'm like pissed, but I'm like.
She was trying really hard. I gotta give it to her.
Hard to be positive.
She was being positive. She had a smile on her face, but I could see the anger behind her eyes. Like, she was.
It was building up.
It was really building up. Because there was so many servers on for closing at 8.
I know. I was like, please cut everyone. He's like, I can't. He couldn't cut everyone though because they weren't at their 2 hours.
2 hours.
It's like, I should have worked a swing. Started at 12.
That's what I did, honey.
And ran the whole restaurant. So, checkers. My first ever serving by myself with Dukes. She took a 30. And they were really nice, but apparently all had the same name. So they gave them, because they were doing it by name, so like, for like billing and stuff.
Yeah.
And they all gave fake names, which then they forgot what their fake names were. So people left without paying their bills.
Well, okay, that hasn't happened to me.
Knock your head, head.
That hasn't happened to me. So what happens in that situation
I think.
with the manager?
Well, okay, so what happens, if there's people still in the restaurant from the party, obviously we're like, hey, this motherfucker didn't pay. You need to pay their bill. That's what happens.
Okay.
But if they all leave and we find out, like, no one paid, I think it depends on the manager. Like, I know a lot of people say, like, oh, it comes out of our, like
the
us.
servers?
No, technically I think it would be a QSA server because we are supposed to be making sure
Responsible, yeah.
that everyone's paid. But depending on the scenario, I'm pretty sure they just comp it.
Well, like the first party I ever took was at 20, and it was.
You did that by yourself, didn't you?
I did that by myself. I was so proud of myself.
And you did. I remember she did really well. Everyone was like, I was like, this is the first party you've ever taken,
Mhm.
and you're taking it by yourself.
I had no problems at all, and I did it by jersey numbers. Thanks to her, she told me how to do it. It was a lacrosse. No, it was a field hockey team.
Field hockey.
Men's field hockey. There was a big tournament going on, like down the street.
It's literally down the street. We have them in the summer. It's like our only people who come in.
Like during the day, we had like 3 of those teams come in, and parents. It was beautiful.
It's beautiful. Because they got money.
Yeah,
They're playing field hockey.
If I can have time to go take a day off and watch their kids play field hockey. So I had those. I had like 3 coaches, a couple parents, and then just a shit ton of kids. It was a 20, and they all showed up. And I did it by jersey number, and it all went fucking smoothly. The only thing that happened, I think, is kitchen fucked up on a burger. It was a simple mistake. And
That's
the kid was
easy
being
to fix.
he was being a little twat about it too. He's just like, no, I want the other one.
Okay, calm down. I'll get it for you.
Like, it's still a fucking same burger. Just one has barbecue sauce and the other one doesn't. Okay, just calm yourself.
When I was a kid and like people would fuck up on my food, I would just be like, no, it's okay. No, it's okay. And then I'd be like, Mom, I don't like this. And then my mom would deal with it. My mom was like not the kind of person you want to serve though. And she was a server for a really long time.
Maybe that's why though. She's just jaded now.
She's just jaded. Yeah, that's what happens. Autocrat.
Let's talk about Let's unpack Autocrat for a second. So Autocrat is the automatic service. It's an automatic tip, basically. It's called auto gratuity. And then whenever I say that to a table, they're like, auto what?
Yeah.
They're like, what's a gratuity?
I just say, the tip's already in there, but if you want to tip me on top, that's okay too. I just say, you don't need to tip me. And they're like, why? I'm like, it's already in there, unless you want to.
Yeah. Like, I think I made a joke during Christmas with a table. I was like, tip's already in there, but if you're feeling givey with the holidays,
Give him a little shimmy.
give him a little shimmy. And a couple of them laughed, and one guy tipped on top. Like, only one guy did. I was like, whatever, thanks, bud.
So at our place, 10 and over gets Autocrat. And
Found out 6 and over downtown.
oh,
Right? And I think
what?
Talk about your old jobs.
So we went to my old restaurant recently, and everyone there watches the podcast. Thanks, guys.
Shout out to all y'all.
Love you. Slave to the noodle. Yeah. So I didn't remember this, but we don't have Autocrat there, and we could take up to like, I've taken parties with other people, of course. Like that was like 100. We took 150 once. We rent out our whole restaurant to cops. No Autocrat. No Autocrat. The only thing that we have Autocrat on, or I don't work there anymore, is a package. So it's like you get to pick one pasta, and then it comes with this salad, it comes with this or whatever. There is a 12% Autocrat on there. 12%.
So that could be a 60. And
Yeah.
It's only 12%.
Only 12%. When people tip me 12%, I'm like, are you fucking joking me? 12% on probably like a $300 bill.
That's rough. That's so rough. Because anytime
So
someone sees like, oh, tips already included, they don't care what the percentage
Yeah,
is.
they don't care. They don't even look sometimes.
There's only been like 3 instances where they're like, what's the percentage?
Yeah.
And
No,
I
I've had
tell
a few
them.
people, and I'm like, it's 18.
And then one guy was like, 18?
Yeah.
That's so much.
It's like, yeah, because I deserve it, you fuck.
Fuck, I was so insulted by that man.
I had one guy, because I do remember taking a party with the package, and Autocrat was on it. And he did tip on top. He gave us a lot of money.
Mm.
And I was like,
Beautiful.
bless.
Nice.
I did not make money there. I don't know about everybody else, but I did not make money like I make money now.
Yeah. What's the most people you've taken by yourself?
40. 40 people. 40 people by myself.
Impossible.
It's not impossible. It's written down.
It's proof.
It's true. 40 people. I've taken 40 people by myself. At my place, it was 22.
Yeah, you could take.
Legally, after. Like, afterwards, like, I think we got, like, a change in management. Shit was changing. They said 22 is the highest you're allowed to take, but I've taken 40.
Is it because it just leaves too many options for mistakes?
It's just, like, can't do that to a fucking person. You can't do that. Like, even 22 can be a handful, like, but, yeah, that
you would
40,
have needed to have a busser all to yourself.
I did. And I told her, I was like, I'm going to give you $5 now, and I'll give you something else later. You only help me. That's it. She was great, though. She only helped me. And I had, like, managers helping me run. We were short-staffed. I think someone, like, didn't show up. And I was like...
I think the most I've taken was 25. And
Even that's a lot.
it was a lot. They were all drinks, so that's why it was very demanding.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, you want to refill, you want to refill, you want to refill, you want another one, you want another one, oh, now you want a double? Okay, let's go. And then there was also some children in that one, too. So them trying to fucking... And they were one of those mover ones. They were just fucking up and everywhere, changing seats. Luckily, most of the bill was all together, so that was my only saver.
I was raised on parties. Like, I took them for breakfast. I see your face. I do this thing now, like, I see your face, and I see your drink. Or, like, I see your seat number. They're like, oh, can I get a Caesar? I'm like, 17, Caesar. Like, oh, can I get this? I'm like, oh, yeah, you're 17. And they're like, what? Like, shut up.
So she's
what
like,
do you want?
she's like Rain Man.
That's another thing, like, serving fellow servers. So it either goes two ways. So, like, one way it'll be great, and, like, you'll get tipped beautifully. They're like, don't worry about us, like, come back whenever, blah, blah, blah.
They realize that you've got other stuff to do.
And, like, they remember that, you know, they're a server as well. They understand. And then they're the people who, like, completely forget that they're also a server, and I'm also, like, their friend, and, like, we work together, and they just fuck you completely, and they, like, yell at you and get mad that you fucked up, or you're not paying attention to them, or whatever. But they still tip you beautifully. That's the best part.
That's the one thing you can't always guarantee, is that they will tip you beautifully. Because they do not want you to hold that over their heads.
No. Twin 2 had her birthday party at our restaurant, and I wrote down next to her reservation of 8 that I am serving it. That they requested that I serve their table. And I made like $100 and some on that table. Easy. Because they were all servers. And it was great. Yes, they were yelling at me while I was at other tables, telling me to, like, shake my ass and talking about my ass. It's always about my ass.
You got a beautiful ass. What do you want?
What can I say? While I was at other tables, but other than that, I had a great fucking time serving them. Juliette used to work at a Chinese food restaurant, and she took a 45 by herself. It was like a buffet style, though, and the bill was $2,000. $2,000. They tipped her $800. $800 tip.
$800 tip.
Like, come to
Retire. You're done. That's the best you'll ever do.
That's the best you'll ever do. Yeah, you can't beat that.
Everything else is chump change after that.
Fuck.
Imagine just having that wad of cash.
I would just, like, I think I
or
would throw up
seeing
a little. I would just be like, blah, blah. Are you dumb? Thank you. Oh, forgetting to put Autocrat on a table, like, apparently this happens.
Yeah, apparently this happens.
Only in my worst nightmare.
Happened to Doogie, happened to Disney 2.0, Jordan Arnold, which you've already heard about this one.
How do you forget something so important?
Like, that's...
Like, I love you guys,
That's your
but, like,
livelihood.
what the fuck? Like, when I have Autocrat on the table, it's the only thing I'm focusing on, the only thing I'm excited about for the rest of the night. Like, seriously.
Like, it's gonna take up your whole... It takes up your whole night, your whole section, so, like...
Why not put the moneymaker on it? I don't... Also, manager, what the fuck? Get your shit together.
It's not a manager's job, though. But is it? Like,
Yeah.
This is like the gray area. This is what I've been
usually
told.
like, okay, picklehead. As soon as my party would order like one thing, I'd be like, "Man, can you put Autocrat on my table?" And he never would. Right away. I would literally tell him 3 times. I'm like, "Hey, it's open right now. Like I have it open here. Just put Autocrat on it right now,
Yeah.
please." So I understand. Like I guess it's not the manager's.
It's not the priority.
But even then, like when I'm printing bills, because I've had it where Autocrat didn't go on every single bill when I split them. It didn't go on it.
Like
so
with the new system?
Yeah. So yeah. So I always like when I print the bill, when I'm handing them out, I always read it and I said service charge. There you go. Service charge. There you go. Always.
I'm gonna start triple checking because
It happened to me. It's happened to me twice now. And they're like, because at one time I didn't catch it. And they're like, there's no service charge on this. I was like, I literally like grabbed it. And I was like, bless you. And I went and I was like, here you go. And then she tipped me on top of Autocrat too. I was like, bless.
Yeah, one time I had a tip on top of Autocrat, and I was like, oh yeah. But then it just turns out that they didn't hear me say that there was tip on top, and they had me give them back their money that they tipped. So it was, for those 2 ladies, it was an older lady and like a middle-aged lady. The middle-aged lady was a fucking cunt. Like, she was being a real bitch about it. She's like, you didn't tell us. We didn't. And I'm like, well, I did to this side of the table. I said, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to let you know that there is auto gratuity on top. And maybe you guys just weren't listening. She didn't like that. Because I did say that to her face. Because I was
You said maybe you weren't listening?
Yeah. No.
I say it. I get
done.
it. I get people annoyed with it. I'm like, Autocrat.
No, I was really annoyed with that side of the, because they were the ones who weren't ordering anything really, so there was really, really low bills.
Okay, so why are you stressing?
They weren't even worth my time. I have to give one $3.58 and the other one $3.25 out of my change bag.
I hope you give them all fucking nickels and dimes.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, and here is $3, and I gave him a bunch of quarters, gave him some fucking dimes and nickels, because I was like, fuck you bitches. Thanks for the Autocrat.
You've had 2 tables get mad at you because, it gives you the total, and then it puts the Autocrat on it, and then it does the tax. So it taxes you on top of the Autocrat, and she had to give this one guy, like, the money, like, the whatever fucking, what was it, $1?
$1.75.
$1.75 back to this human because it was taxed on top of Autocrat. I'm like, why is that her fucking problem? Why? Like, fuck entirely off. You can't afford your $1.75? Go to McDonald's, get your food stamps, get the fuck out of my restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
No, it was
$1.75, like, that's not our fault. We don't choose this. Okay?
Yeah.
It's the system. Not me. Complain to the manager. Let her have her money.
Also had a party of 10. This is also a thing. Do not tell your party that there is auto gratuity until there is at least 10 people there. Because I have had instances where it has been 8 people, and so has our friend Martini. She told them when it was 4 people, and she said, just so you know, there is going to be auto gratuity because you're a party of 10 or more. And he was like, what's that? And she was like, it means that there's going to be tip already included. And he's like, one sec. He calls up his friends and says, don't come. So there was only 8 of them, and they didn't tip her. None of them fucking tipped her.
Go to hell. Honestly, go to hell. Yeah. Fuck you.
So, and I've had that happen to myself.
She's had that
as well.
happen, yeah.
So
it was 9.
It's fucking
so
9.
You just need one more fucking
I got
body.
lucky because they did, but they were tipping like fucking 10%, like just across. It was bare minimum. But some of them didn't tip too. So like you gotta remember, like it was like give
Go
and take.
to hell. Fuck off. Like seriously.
Knowing this whole story, I had a table at 61. Oh, and I remember these ladies. It was a birthday party. A couple of them were legal age, so I had to get them like fancy martinis. They didn't even fucking drink them because they didn't
they're
like
too
them.
strong. You're just
They're too They're already doubles. You're used to drinking fucking coolers out of Palm Bay
Shangri-La that you get in like the fucking container.
Like I know exactly what you drink. You're not gonna like a martini. Trust me.
And it's like $10 and you're not even gonna drink it.
Yeah, and oh my god, this one was the $12 one, the chocolate one.
Oh, Oh,
So this
damn!
is
That one's so good.
It's so fun.
Like, I'm a pussy when it comes to alcohol, but that one,
so
like, I drink it like a
Because
struggle
it's
milk.
made with espresso Van Gogh, and espresso Van Gogh is
And there's chocolate on it.
and chocolate shavings, and when you get to the bottom, they're all soaked with alcohol.
And you're just like,
so you chug it and you chunk it and then you like eat it, and then it's like alcohol.
We're alcoholics.
Just a little bit. But anyways, back to this party. So everything went perfectly fine. The only thing I want to make note of is they got only 4 people in the party got nachos. It was only on one side of the table. Fast forward to when I bring the bill. By this time, 3 of the guys had already left and paid separately. I already made sure Autocrat was on top of it. I let them know everything was golden. The only thing is that these were the guys who were sharing the nachos. I'll add us a tiny little note. It was 8, and then 2 guys showed up way later than everyone, ordered 1 pitcher, and left. Autocrat!
Bitch!
Still fucking Autocrat.
Still fucking Autocrat.
So by the time I dropped off the bills for everyone, those 2 guys had left, so it was only 8 of them. You felt like a little bit of a bitch for this one, but I don't care. So I dropped it all off to everyone, and then I get to the lady who shared the nachos with those 2 guys and the other girl, and the birthday girl. And her bill was the biggest. It was $80 because I put the nachos and the nachos on top of it. So she got drinks and her entree on top of it.
Yeah.
And she made a note. She said to me, I'm still gonna pay this, but
Obviously, you need to pay your bill.
But I just want you to know, you should be paying attention to who's eating what, and make sure you split things accordingly, because we shared the nachos.
Did you tell me that? Did you tell me you were splitting that on the bills? Because I've had multiple times. Yes, I know we shared this, but I'm going to pay for the nachos.
Yeah.
Or, like, you just don't say fucking anything. And they don't check their bill and say, oh, we want to pay for the nachos.
And you know what I said after? I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that next time. But just so you know, if you want, I can split the nachos with her, the birthday girl, if you like. And you can just
Be an asshole.
split it 2 ways, and that should be less for you.
If you can't
And she was
afford
like,
that.
no, I'll pay this today. But just so you know, you should be paying attention to this.
Today.
Oh.
You're going to pay your bill. If you ate it, you're paying for it.
Thank you for the tip. I'm going to be such a better server now.
Because of you.
And I literally just fucking, bye. And then I went over to the birthday girl, and I could already tell she was fed up with me because I was being a little bit of a cunt to everyone.
But it's like,
But you know
when it's Autocrat, you're allowed to be a cunt. Because you have to fucking pay me.
You have to
and it's
pay me.
already in there.
I can be a shitty server.
Autocrat is my best friend.
I can be a bad person with Autocrat. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter.
I can be a petty bitch. So, I get to the birthday girl, and this is the best part. She was like, why is there auto gratuity? There was only 8 of us. I'm like, no, there was 10 of you. 2 guys at the end who ordered the pitcher? Yeah. There was only 10. She was like,
There was sun, bitch.
oh. She was like, oh. And she like fucking
Shut up. Happy birthday to you, bitch.
I was just so, and only one person tipped on top. She was the golden child out of all of them. I could tell she was probably a server too.
And she's just putting up with these ass. Like, train your friends.
Train
If you're a
your
server,
friends.
train your friends. Don't talk to her like that. This is her job. Tip her. She did her job.
That girl, I could tell because she was stacking plates. She was like,
Oh, yeah, she's a
moving
server.
things a
She's a
lot.
server.
Like she was doing servery things.
We can tell when you're a server and I'm serving you.
Yeah. And so those girls. Oh, fuck those. I always remember those girls too. And they just make me. I was so happy that I was able to tell them off. And it wasn't
When you
even
have
telling them
Autocrat-
off. It was just me being a bit of a petty bitch and a cunt. Like just.
I literally
subtly.
have the same story, but I'm going to save it for my best tipper because I am a terrible human being.
Oh.
I'm a terrible human being.
Okay. Our best tipper is one that we shared together.
And then we're going to do separate ones as well.
Separate ones as well. So, worst tipper for me is a bit of a journey.
I fucking hate this story. Makes me so mad.
This was when I was closing 2 weeks in a row.
yeah!
This is during
Fucking
that journey
RIP
for myself.
to you. Sorry.
It was a group of middle-aged people. When I was
Multiple.
closing for those 2 weeks, I ran into this type of stereotype multiple fucking times. So this
Just
is
when you're closing, it just happens.
it just
they
happens.
come in.
I don't fucking know why. It's like they breed on this type
They're
of
like, nighttime.
I smell it.
No money.
She's alone. I'll only pay 95 cents. Like,
I can't.
but I'm gonna get 12 Patron shots. So it was, originally it was an 8 top, and I was like, please, 2 more. And I was really fucking hoping
You
for
just
2 more.
fucking. That's when you start praying, even if you're not religious. You're like, dear God, it's me, Darianne.
I
It's
know
me,
we don't
Drex.
talk.
I know we don't talk, but I'll be a better person. You just give me 2 more fucking people.
The only time I talk to God is when I'm taking a really painful shit, and when I'm, miss my period. That's the only time I talk to God.
I've never related to you so hard, except for the shit part. The shit part, I'm like, I'm gonna get through this, but
Have you never,
I have been
maybe
on.
Taco
I
Bell?
have been fucking on my
Like,
bed praying. I have done this because I'm like, I can't have a baby right now. I'll be better. I will never do the nasty again.
The 2 never came. It was just an 8 top. There was but the one guy who was really fucking drunk, he was already pre-drunk, came in. Originally it was 4, and then it became the other 4. They're getting drinks. They're getting all their solo drinks, and they're getting shots too. Then they decide to make an order of appies. But this drunk guy orders, and he says, "I want one of everything." That's at least $80 in appies.
At least.
At
80,
least.
yeah.
And I was like, "Are you sure?" Because I was like, "This guy's drunk." So like,
Yeah, when I'm drunk, I'm like, give me it all. And
And
I can't afford that.
yeah, I know people can't afford that. I've also had another table where it was like a group of 5 guys, and this guy ordered 4 rounds of Patron shots for all of them. And then
That's
his
like
friends had to pay the bill.
$200.
His friends had to help him pay the bill.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah. So I remember this. So I'm like trying to help this guy. Like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, yeah. So I talked to the sober people, and I'm like, "Are you guys sure? Like, is this okay?" And they're like, yeah, put it in. I'm like,
You're being wrong.
famous fucking last words. Put it in. About 10 minutes passes. The appies are coming up. I go over the table to go bring more drinks, and they tell me, can you pack up those appies? Because I think we're going to head out. So they're all made, plated. And I have to go to kitchen, and I have to say, "Hey guys, you know that party that wanted all those appies, one of everything? Yeah, they want it all packed up now."
That's
But
when
no.
the kitchen starts throwing things.
Yeah, that's when kitchen starts fucking getting mad. I think the nachos I ended up putting on the table, that was just me being like, "Fuck you," I think, because the nachos is the hardest one to pack.
Oh, I
because
just slide the whole thing, paper and all.
Yeah, I do that too, but with all the sauces and everything,
Oh, okay.
it's kind of gross. Because you have to do side sauce if you're doing it to go.
Oh.
Because it gets soggy.
Well, fuck you. That's all I have to say.
So I pack it all up and I bring it in 2 bags. And then, so 3 of them leave, but the rest stay. And I'm like, okay. And then this guy is ordering shots for me. And then
For you or from you?
from me.
Okay.
I go over to him and he's ordering a drink, and then he changes his mind 3 times while I'm talking to him. And I guess I made a noise?
Oh,
Yeah. And his friend, who's standing right next to me, or sitting right next to me, goes, "Hey, there's no need to be rude."
she's breathing. She just does that sometimes, actually.
I do
Sometimes
that
I think she's
sometimes.
being fed up with me, and then I look at her and she's like, I'm like, okay, no, she's fine.
No, like, usually I'm fine. But this time, this was an exhale of frustration. I'm going
Usually
to be
I have to,
honest.
I go like this, go, because I do it, I go all the time, so I have to, I do, literally
keep
watch
it
me
in.
at tables. I'm not fucking with you.
No, I've seen you do it, and it's the eyeballs. It's the I see it all in the eyeballs all
Like,
the time.
When you have, 12 mods, I'm like, I have to, hold my breath so I don't go, fuck!
So this is when I lost my shit. This is actually when I became angry, and when I get angry,
She gets angry.
I get angry, but that's when I get frustrated, and when I get frustrated, that's when I start to get teary-eyed.
What?
because I can't control my emotions and I'm trying to hide them. So all this builds up and it's just all here and I can't let it out.
And then
so
you
then
throw up on the table.
I don't throw up. I get teary-eyed and I almost cried at the POS, but then when I was there, I was like, "You're not fucking getting the best of me today."
Yeah,
I was
fuck
like,
you
"Fuck
guys."
you." But this guy said, "No need to be rude," and I turned to him and I was like I closed my book and I'm like, "I'm not being rude. I'm just a little impatient just because he's changed his mind 3 times, and you guys ordered a full round of appetizers and made us pack all of it, and now you guys are and this is all, it's a little moment here, they're all ordering entrees now. Not all of them, the 4 of them that are, or 5 of them that are remaining are now all ordering entrees." And so,
And she's got other tables.
and I've got I've got a section, guys. Like, you're not my only table. So, when you're taking up 50% of my fucking time and giving me a lot of fucking attitude, I'm not going to be the most patient. So I turned to him and I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm just a little impatient with you guys right now." So I punch in the entrees, I let them know I'm ringing in a 5-top, guys. And then I go over to drop off more drinks, and then what do they say? "Hey, we're going to pack up our entrees."
This was the worst night of my life. And I wasn't even there.
So I go, that's, again, when I was just like, okay. I had a big smile on my face to the table, and when I turned around, I was like, fuck, right off. I told Kitchen, I was like, "Hey guys, guess what's happening? We're packing up the entrees." And fucking, some back of house guys who are gonna be on the podcast, I'm gonna tell them about this night, see if they remember it, especially a couple of them, and one of them fucking threw a plate with the food on it. It was just like, fuck these guys. I bring over everything, and drunk guy decides to pay because I did it all on one bill. I was like, "I'm not fucking separating anything for you guys." The bill came to $295. Yeah, it was $95 and I got $296. I only got a 95-cent tip that night because they all were like putting money on the table. And as soon as they fucking left, I ran to make sure that they put all the money down, and then when I saw how much they tipped me, I was just like, that's when I was like almost broken. I was like, "Padgett,
You gotta help a sister out.
you need to help me. You need to fix this." It was a rough fucking night. That was the most, and just them being rude to me was the thing that broke my back, like broke the camel's back, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it.
So my worst tippers. It's not as
Exciting.
exciting. Table of like 7, I think. Hockey boys. Because that's all we used to get was hockey boys. And they're like chatting me up all night. "Oh, you look so nice." Oh, and they're like touching my arm and stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, comes to the bill. This one guy tipped me maybe 10%. Maybe 10%. But he left me his number. Do you honestly think, like, you didn't give me any money? Why would I call you? You weren't even cute!
And
Like,
also, when we're serving you, we don't like you. Like, we're not trying to get hookups or anything like that. Like, that's...
well, we're not. Like,
We're not
I'm
at a club.
working right now.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
Not happening.
That was one of my worst ones.
Yeah.
Moving on to best.
Best. Okay, the best one that involves both of us is when we did our 45 top together.
Yeah, that was a fucking shit show. It was amazing.
Yeah, you had the drinkers.
I had the adults.
And I had the children. Well, the adults with children and, like, literally babies.
Yeah.
One of the babies looked like a fucking alien, I might add, because she was, like, a preemie. And she was just, like all little tiny, and she was just like this.
Kids.
And
She was like, "Did you see the alien kid?" I was like, "Emilee."
and over to the mother. And I was like, "Oh, this is your little munchkin? Oh, good. You're so cute."
They were a handful. They were getting up and moving around, and we only had one little, like, area that we could walk to, like, put shit down. So I'm like, I had, like, a tray, like, full tray of drinks, like, every 5 minutes. And I'm like, beside you, behind you. I literally pushed someone from fucking falling back on my tray. But
Gnarly.
they were great. A lot of people tipped on top of Autocrat.
Yeah.
Even 45.
They were
I don't know
told.
if we mentioned that.
They were told.
And they were like, "You guys did amazing." And then just like
cake.
half. Oh, it was good.
Yeah, we just
cake.
stuck it in the back. It was good. I loved it.
We literally, like, once they were leaving, like, they'd paid, we ran back there and we were just fucking scarfing it down before we had to clean up that disgusting mess of a table. We were like,
was cake
it was blue.
all
I remember it was
over
blue.
the-
It was blue. Emilee's mouth was completely blue because she loves icing.
I love icing.
She
And
loves
when
her
it's
blue.
blue, oh, I will eat that shit like nothing. And my tongue is
I'm eating, like, the
fucking
custard.
dark.
I'm, like, scraping custard
She's
with my
like eating the
fingers.
custard. I'm like icing.
And then there's just clumps of cake and people. There's cake in the back if you guys want, and people are like, I don't want to eat this. Your fucking faces have been in it. But yeah, that was, and we made so much money that night
We each made $120.
from the table.
Yeah.
From the table. Plus we had
Other
a
table.
section afterwards.
Yep.
And we had a section before that.
Yeah. And then we
And
alternated
tables. Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah,
while
we
there
had
was
like
tables.
one table each. And then, no, do we have two tables each? And then
We had one table each, and then we rotated the other one.
the other one, yeah.
Because I was like, that's the fairest.
It was great. It was one of the best serving nights of my life. I just have to say, like, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person, and I have not done this since then. So I had a table of 20. They were, like, super annoying, and a lot of them were really rude to me, like getting angry with me. Like, I ordered a drink 25 minutes ago, and it's still not here. Like, seriously, what are you doing? And I was like, you actually ordered a drink 5 minutes ago, and I'm getting it. I just punched it in. I'm literally getting other fucking drink orders right now. You twat head. They're, like, walking around with their liquor, and, like, when the bills come, I may not have told certain people who were rude to me that there was Autocrat on purpose. And they tipped me. Well,
Wow.
on top
Even
of
the ones who were
Autocrat.
being assholes.
Yeah, the ones who were being everyone tipped me well. But, so, while I'm doing this, I'm like, I'm a terrible human being, like, what the fuck? But then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a lot of money tonight. So,
She weighed out the cons and pros.
I got rid of all the evidence, also.
You took off all the bills?
I took all the bills off the table, I took their coffee off the table. Do you need this? No? Okay. Cleaning.
And assholes.
And they were assholes. Some people I told. So, I wanted to tell this guy there was Autocrat, but I didn't want this guy to know. So while I'm taking them, I'm like, by the way, there's Autocrat on the bill. I did that. And I like...
You like whispered into their ear like
Yeah,
sweet
and then
nothings.
I'm like, oh, thank you so much for telling me that. And then I'm like, uh-huh. Here you go. I'm not a terrible person. I'm really sorry. But I'm not. I made so much money that night.
Yeah, that's you know what happens. What do you want? I want to give a shout out to the one during Christmas time. I got a $75 on top of Autocrat. So I made. It was already like $80. No, it was like $100 in Autocrat. Pretty sure.
Yeah, 800.
Yeah.
The bill was 800.
Oh, it was just under that, so it was like 90 something, and then I got a $75 tip on top of that. And it was it's a relatively small table. It was like 10. That's all it was. No, it was a 14. That's what it was. But it was all one bill. And it was Papa paying for his employees, so it was good. No, and I have another one. This one was actually a fellow server's family. Sit.
Oh, fuck.
So this was the max party I've ever taken by myself, which was a 25. This is also the same party where those ladies made me pay them their $3.50.
Sid's family made you do that?
It wasn't all his family, it was like family and friends.
Oh.
So I think it was the friends part. But they were very demanding. I could not take any people,
Like
any
on
tables
yeah.
on top of it. Everything went fairly smooth, actually, like, to be honest. But when Sit came, he came really late. And he was like, this is tame for my family. And I was running around
You should
like
never
fucking
let your
crazy.
family out in a restaurant.
No. Like, if you know your family's high maintenance, don't put anyone through that.
Ask
or at least
for 2 servers
yeah,
on it.
I was just about to say, or tell them, hey, you're going to need 2 servers for us tonight. Trust me. So,
yeah, someone else served his family, and they said it was a fucking nightmare.
well, he served his own family, made like $400 that night.
What the fuck?
Yeah. But anyways, at the end of the night, it was the woman who's hosting it and Sit himself. They tipped on top. Sit, beautiful, and then the lady herself gave me $25 extra on top of the Autocrat. So I would say that would be my best tipper for parties, even though I worked my fucking tushy off.
If you're in a party, be nice.
Be nice, and if they did really, really good,
Give them more money.
give them a little extra tip. Why not?
If you can afford to spend $80 on Patron shots, you can afford to give me a little extra.
Yeah.
Cha-chang, cha-chang.
Cha-ching.
But yeah, thanks for watching.
And remember,
Tip your fucking server.